it's Jackie and welcome back to my channel for Bridgerton Season 2 inspired hairstyles. I have a cattail with me. I adopted a cat named Santana. You can't really see him and I don't want to like disrupt him right now, but he's adorable and you can see that over on my vlog channel. I'm a little sidetracked. I'm just obsessed with him. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy these Bridgerton hairstyles. I love this Daphne look. It was so fun to recreate. We have like little swirls in the bun. I had a lot of fun shopping for this too. Like every time Bridgerton comes out, I just become obsessed with pieces like this. And let me know in the comments if you preferred season 1 or 2. For me, I don't know, season 2 like made me cry several times. So I loved it. Thumbs up if you enjoy, and I will be reviewing the Pat McGrath collection as well that was sent to me. Let's get started with this look. I love all the lavender in season 2, and I'll share how I did this makeup look after we get the hairstyle down, so stay tuned for that. And first, brush out your hair, and for length, you can recreate this style if you have hair an inch or two past your shoulders. You don't have to have super long hair like I do. It makes it easier if it is a bit shorter for this one. And we're going with a center part. I'm planning out what I want the bangs to look like, so I'm playing with this front section. And I'm going to section another piece forward that will swoop backwards into the half updo. Now that we have our hair in 3 sections, take your pointed fingers behind your ear and drag upward to the top of your crown. Smooth this backwards, and I'm going to add a small plastic elastic. You can also position the ponytail backwards more if you don't want the bun to show from straight on, but that's a feature I really like personally, so I'm using a mini bun maker. I'll have this link down below, and I'm applying this through the ponytail. Secure with a bobby pin on either side, making sure to wedge it into the hair below. Create a quick ballerina bun and start to hide the bun maker. This also cuts down the hair length because creating pin curls is easiest when you have a small amount of hair to work with. If you have shorter hair, skip the half ballerina bun and just go to curling and pinning into pin curls directly onto the bun maker. If that didn't make sense yet, you'll see what I mean. Taking my most used wand, that is quite inexpensive, it's by Bedhead, I'm going to curl the end of the piece that is left over after being wrapped around the bun. Make sure that when you curl the hair, it stays flat around the barrel so that you get a ringlet shape. Continue to roll the pin curl upward, reaching the bun, and pin through the center as well as either side of the loop. It's helpful to use a high hold hairspray so that this stays put. If you really take your time, you can get a super polished look, but even if it's a little bit irregular, it'll still look gorgeous. Let's continue this by taking small piece by small piece, just curling the end so it's the thinnest amount of hair to work with and pin in place. And you need 3 bobby pins minimum per little swirl. If you have too many bobby pins, you'll have a lot that will show, so try to hide them as best as you can and use a color that is similar to your hair. I went with 3 pin curls around the back, and we're going to cover the rest of the bun with ends from the side pieces that we're going to style. Swooping that side section upwards and over top of the bun. And let's create that front eye-catching rosette style pin curl. These loops look like rosebuds, which is a common theme throughout a lot of the hairstyling in season 2. Next section, my hair wasn't laying quite how I wanted it to, so instead of bringing the hair in front of the bun, I just wrapped it around the back, and I did the same thing that we did before with a slight twist so I could adjust the bottom piece to cover the part. With that end piece on the other side, let's curl and wrap upwards, create that top loop so you can't see any hole from the bun maker. And finally, the last ringlet curl wrapped up to the side, and we have the bun covered. My favorite high hold hairspray for manipulating strands is by OGX. It's their bamboo fiber full hairspray. And for the back side, her hair was twisted upwards over the shoulder, but I don't love my hairline by my neck. It looked kind of messy, so I decided to twist towards my neck, kind of pull that hair down to cover that section. For the side ringlet, curl piece by piece towards your face. I'm using that same curling iron, and I'm pinning as it's cooling. I ran out of clips, so I had to take my little bang section out. And for these bangs, I'm going to create a slight twist and pinch and pull to create the bangs. Adding a bobby pin right behind my ear, hiding it into my hair. And if you have bangs, curve them inwards with a straightener. Hairspray really does elevate the bangs, and here's the look so far. Let's take down those side curls, and you could leave it over your shoulder. And I'm just grouping the curl together into a big ringlet. Final adjustments, some accessories of course, we can't forget a floral moment. Here's the Daphne inspired look, and I wasn't going anywhere, but if you do have a big event that you want to be very Bridgerton-esque for, make sure that you look hard through a second mirror so you can see if any bobby pins are showing, or if you've completed the look and you really can't cover them up, you can always use more flower pins to distract from any prominent pins. I'll have this dress, necklace, and makeup collection linked down below, and I cannot get over the Pat McGrath Labs and Bridgerton 2 collection. Look at this beautiful packaging. I was so excited to get this PR package in the mail. I put the price on screen, so it's definitely an expensive collaboration, so I wanted to give you guys a ranking of the items, give you my best recommendations, so if you're gonna splurge on one item, hopefully this steers you in the right direction. For the Daphne eyeshadow look that I had on, I went with the middle shade called Regency Romance, and I'm sculpting out the socket, fading into a V shape. Now for all over the lid, I used Diamond's Desire, and I'm using my finger over the eyelid for that multi-dimensional sparkling effect. You can use this wet as well. I've only tried it dry, but it gives kind of a wet appearance, and it has a very unique texture that gives that iconic Pat McGrath eye-catching sheen to the lid. I love that Bridgerton has captured the Regency meets very modern, so Daphne's makeup felt very Pat McGrath with gorgeous skin and defined features. With refinement, a highlight shade, apply this to the inner corner. This was really fun, especially for spring, and it looked really nice with this pastel dress. And let's move on to the blush palette called Blushing Delights. I'd recommend the blush if you're between the blush and the eyeshadow palette because you will use these blush shades every day. They're the perfect combination of pinks, peaches, roses, and you have a beautiful champagne highlight. I love the round packaging. It is such a beautiful collection. And you can also use the peach and pinks in the highlight on the eyes to create a very similar look to what I created with the palette. Finally, for lips, doing a bit of an overline to the outer corners and tilting upwards to get that Daphne-inspired pout that is also very Audrey-inspired. And this gorgeous lipstick, oh my god, I kept the packaging, I have it in a PR box, and I'm pretty sure it's always gonna stay on display where I'm filming. I'm a sucker for all of the nude shades, and the one I have here is called Negligee. Highly recommend it, will look good on everybody. It's a beautiful everyday pink, and I added a bit of a peach gloss over top. And there's one more product in this collection, another adorable round component, really fun to collect, and it is a diamond shimmer for your body, and it gives an all-over glow. It does have a fragrance to it and a vintage-inspired puff. You can use this sun-kissed shimmer anywhere, and before I was sent this collection, I was planning on just buying one lipstick because I'm obsessed with the component, but after trying everything, I really do keep grabbing for the blush. Let's move on to Edwina's Updo. For the Edwina vibe, I loved her bronzy eyes, pink cheeks, and pink lips. Pastel pink was definitely her color this season. The beauty lead for season 2 is by Erica Oakfist, I hope I'm saying that right, and I'm reading an article literally right now about the trends, so I'll have that link down below. And the most frequent look that Edwina wore was a curly updo that was a bit asymmetrical. There was many variations to it. I'm going to start by styling the front section of hair and then toss the rest of the hair up into a high ponytail. You can curl your entire head, like pin curl it, set it, have lots of curls to work with, and then style your hair, but I find it easier to break it down and do it in sections. With the same wand I used in the Daphne look, curl towards your face, creating tiny ringlets. Next, group the curls upwards and pin into your hair, going back into the ponytail. You can add a bit of teasing if you want to add more volume. I noticed a tiny curl around her face, and you can let the ends fall from that first section that we've pinned. Keep curling the rest of the section, again towards your face. Once it's sitting how I want it to, I'm adding a bobby pin with the rest of that piece going backwards. Directly below, I wanted a wave kind of against my face, so I brushed out that curl and I pinned again above the ear. This is looking a little crazy, which is the hair in a ponytail while it's straight, but it's a good base for the rest of the style. For the side of the bun that has less volume, I'm going to do some really quick curls. It doesn't have to be perfect because we will tease this out, do a bit of a twist with that section and pin in place, adding a couple bobby pins to make it a wide bun shape. And I didn't notice this detail until I saw some behind the scenes, but they did have some rosette style pin curls. You can do this with your own hair by creating a pin curl and then grouping it together, adding one bobby pin through the center and expanding out the circle surrounding the pin. Make sure you set it in place with a lot of hairspray. And on the other side, this is gonna be more ringlet curls. So I'm gonna be a bit more precise with curling and let them cool in my hand until I have the whole ponytail curled. And let's pin slightly over top of the crown to get that slightly asymmetrical look I was talking about. If you're still watching, comment the pop culture password down below, which is I was sharpening my knives for all of you. A line from Lady Whistledown. I was not even gonna attempt the accent there, but I always forget it's Julie Andrews talking. I love her. And twisting, plopping the ends on top, adding a couple bobby pins, and making sure I like how the curls are styled. Kate wore a lot of braided buns, but my favorite look that she wore was that messy side braid. I also love whenever she's wearing white, she looks so stunning. And I knew it was the look that I wanted to add into this video because it is the easiest and most wearable. And instead of doing a subtle bronze makeup look that was similar to Edwina but more on the natural side, I wanted to show off this gold from the Pat McGrath palette because it is stunning. The Sharma sisters wore a lot of rose gold, but I loved when Kate wore orange and gold specifically. It looked amazing. My hair is a little flat, so I'm adding some teasing to the back section. And with the hair in a side part again, I'm going to create curls around my face. I wanted to keep it easy. I'm just using the same curling iron, but you could go with a slightly larger barrel for this one. I say you need this curling iron though. I've used it for years. It's the best. And then I'm brushing these out, adding the curl to the side sweep over the shoulder. And I'm pin curling one of the curls a bit shorter. If you already have shorter pieces, then you can use that as the accent curl. Other side, brushing out the curl, pinning above the ear, and I'm going to create a couple more curls over the shoulder to give more texture. I'm not sure if this is how the braid was done, but this is how I would go about it. Take the section over your shoulder in half and start to create a regular braid. But pick up a piece from the side and incorporate it into the braid until you get through all the hair. So this is called a lace Dutch braid. You're gonna stitch the braid under rather than over. And I only did this 3 times. This way you'll have the braid sit really beautifully over the shoulder and it will give you more volume by your ear. Also, make sure you leave out another side curl. And this is a trick I do all the time if you're braiding and you end up with 3 strands, but one of them is a lot shorter and thinner than the other 2 sections. Just divide part of the thicker section into the struggling strand and continue to braid. This will also make the braid sit a little bit more irregularly, which looks really worn in and cool, especially when you spread it apart. So I'm adding a bit of hairspray to bring some of that volume back, the curls in there, expanding out that braid so it's kind of messy and we get some flyaways, and I just love it. If you want more Bridgerton tutorials, I have a season 1 makeup tutorial inspired by Daphne, as well as 3 different hairstyles, so you might want to check those out, and be sure to let me know what you'd like to see next on my channel. I love spring and summer content, and I'll see you guys in my next upload. Hi, do you want a flower on your head? You're so handsome.